Talk a little bit about your playing career after Dixie State and where you've been.
You know what? Pretty much, Dixie was the start, of
Yeah.
everything for me. Of course, I ended up going to UNLV, but this is where the ground was laid. This is what turned me into a professional. This is what gave me the fire that hey, maybe you can play this game, a little further on. And it was good for me to come here and like I said, going to UNLV. That was me maturing.
Yeah.
Growing up, understanding the game, learning how to be coached differently with, different, other alpha males,
Yeah.
on the team because it is a Division I school. And, just knowing the difference like that, I mean, it was great for me like that. As far as the NBA, I mean, what can you say? I spent, 12, 13 years, playing in the NBA and messing around kind of. 4 or 5 years overseas. And then, of course, the last 3 years in the Big Three. So right now, this is 17 years professional now. And, yeah, it's been a long time. My body's just feeling all of it, too. Oh, my God.
That's a lot of basketball, and we
Lots.
asked you your memorable moment here at Dixie College inside the Burns Arena. I know it's a lot of seasons of professional basketball to
Right.
think about. Is there one game that sticks out in your professional career, whether it's in the NBA or overseas or in the Big Three? I know that's asking you on the spot to think of
It's
a lot of
not.
stuff. Or maybe the biggest thing that you've taken away from playing professional basketball.
You know what? The best game is my entire 17 years right now. I love the game that much. And it's no way to play it but the right way. I think every time I went out there, I gave it 110%. That's the only thing that you can ask for, and look where basketball has taken me. So I dedicate my entire life, like to basketball, and I think and I appreciate the time that I spent in each spot. It helped me grow and mature as a man and a player too as well.
What message would you have for somebody, an aspiring basketball player, maybe someone struggling in college basketball right now, maybe someone thinking this game's too hard, I want to step away? What message would you have to somebody engrossed in this game of basketball, or in their early stages?
I would just say, just keep your head, keep grinding. Basketball is a game, it's a marathon, and the only thing you have to do is just keep working hard and do the right thing, and I think it'll pan out for everybody.
Marcus Banks joining us in the TDS pregame show, a member of the Dixie State University Athletics Hall of Fame, played at Dixie College, a third-place finish and a 36-2 record in the 2001 season. It was the Region 18 Player of the Year, also played at UNLV, and as we've just mentioned, a 17-year professional career. Well, Marcus, time's winding down. This game's going to start. We didn't get on as quick as we wanted to, but you are welcome to come back and join us at halftime.
Absolutely.
If you want to.
Yes, absolutely.
Please stop by and we'll chat more about
Sure thing.
stories in professional and here at Dixie College. We're just excited you're here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
We are going to step away inside the TDS pregame show. In fact, that'll do it for us inside the TDS pregame show. An absolute just honor and a treasure to have Marcus Banks back in the Burns Arena tonight, joining us inside the TDS pregame show. Dixie State hosting Black Hills State. The Trailblazers 7-0 overall, 2-0 in the RMAC, and they try to make it 8-0 overall and 3-0 in the RMAC tonight. We're going to step away. We will take a 2.5-minute timeout. 2.5-minute timeout. And back. When we come back, we'll give you our Boulevard home starting lineups. We'll review our Lonnie Boys Barbecue keys to the game. That is our TDS pregame show for you. In fact, let's shorten it. Let's make it a 2-minute timeout, just a 2-minute, and come back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
We may have started out small, but we were great. Families and fans rallied behind their team. The community cared, and everyone showed up to cheer. Now, we're bigger than ever. Dixie State is going to Division I.
Here we go in transition, and he throws it down with one hand.
But at the end of the day, it's the community and fans that make us great. Whether you give $5 or $1,000, every dollar, every seat in the stands, every one of you can help blaze our trail to Division I athletics, because this is our team.
got you right where I want you. If I make this one, it's over. I win.
No pressure. Bring it.
We may not always play good, but when we want to look good, we come to the Dixie State campus store.
Located on the second floor of the Gardner Center. We'll see you there.
Fans, welcome back inside the Burns Arena. Wonderful rendition of the national anthem, and we are back and ready to get things going. As man, what an honor it was inside our TDS pregame show to have Dixie State Athletics Hall of Fame member Marcus Banks joining us in the pregame, and we hope we can get it back in the halftime show as well. We got to take care of some business here, give you some Boulevard Home starting lineups before we get this thing tipped off and underway. We've got some basketball that we played between Dixie State and Black Hills State, as both teams looking for a win. The Trailblazers trying to prove to 8-0. Let's give you the starting lineup. First for the Dixie State University Trailblazers for you TV and internet viewers, the video you're seeing on your screen and throughout these starting lineups is what they see, what the crowd sees inside the Burns Arena up on the big video board. So this is the intro video, the hype video, and then you'll see the individual players show up as they're introduced as starters. Let's give you the Dixie State University starting lineup. Trailblazers 7-0 overall, 2-0 in the RMAC this season. Ranked number 16 in the National Association of Basketball Coaches, the Division II Coaches Poll, and they start just the way they have the last 3 or 4 games. Jack Pagenkopf at the point guard alongside Dason Youngblood, Frank Stain, Josh Newbold, and Hunter Schofield. And you better believe that Frank Stain is going to be looking to bounce back from a tough game last night, and it can be a learning experience for the freshman as he's in the starting lineup once again tonight, and he's got his first opportunity as a college player to kind of look past a tough performance the night before. Mike, we mentioned last night that you'd hate to be Black Hills State tonight since Frank Stain had a tough game and didn't score. What do you expect from the freshman and hoping, lessons they learned last night and to put that behind him, just play this game tonight?
Well, first, Carrick, it was great to see him at shoot-around today. It was the first thing I looked for was Frank Stain, and his body language looked good. I think he was ready to put that behind him and move on. It's one of those freshman moments, and he's ready to go. And I can't wait to see that battle of the freshmen tonight. Both teams have freshmen that are poised to have great careers at their respective institutions.
Let's go back, Mike, and quickly revisit our Lonnie Boys Barbecue's keys to the game. First, let's give you the starting lineup for the Black Hills State Yellow Jackets. They're going to start Joel Scott, Trey Whitley, Tyler Oliver, Stefan Desnitza, and Antonio Capley. They're led by Ryan Thompson in his second season at the helm at Black Hills State University. Quickly, let's review our Lonnie Boys Barbecue keys to the game. We had to go through them pretty quick. What an honor it was to chat with Marcus Banks. We hope we get him back at halftime again. But let's go through our Lonnie Boys Barbecue's key to the game before we tip this off.
Number one is going to be post play. We talked about the post play and what that means. It's going to be contesting the rim. It's going to be rebounding, and it's going to be establishing that low block presence offensively. Second is that they definitely have to control the tempo. They want to run, they want to keep running, and finally it's going to be defensively control their sets and keep them out of their stuff.
We are underway. Black Hills State will win the tip, moving left to right across your radio dial. As we see it, you hear it. Dixie State will be moving right to left. Of course, it's flipped if you're watching because the camera's on the other side of the floor from us. Black Hills State setting it up on a 15-second shot clock. Here's Scott inside, the team's leading scorer at 17 points per game. We'll hand off inside to Snitza, and he will lay it up and in, and he is a scorer as well. Both those players had good games last night at Westminster. Trailblazers will set it up for their first offensive possession of the night. Here's Schofield. Trailblazers trailing 2-0 with 19:20 to play first half. Schofield holding deep left side, not quite three-point range. And the Trailblazers try to hand off to Frank Stain, and Stain is held by Desnitza as he's trying to get around a screen.
Yeah, you love that first possession. You know, the guy didn't score last night in the first offensive possession. They went right back to him. Coach Judkins knows how important it is to get his freshmen going early.
Trailblazers with 20 seconds back on the shot clock. Here's Pagankoff to the left. Deep two, left side, rims out. Schofield chases down the offensive rebound. Bangs inside, the putback won't go. And the rebound to Desnica, a 6'6" senior forward from Serbia. And they'll give to Tyler Oliver. And they give to Joe Scott. He traveled up top. This Black Hill State team is a team that ran away from the Trailblazers in Spearfish last year. And Coach Judkins is not shy about talking about, you know, how bad that game was, and that one hurt early on in the season, but Trailblazers with some unfinished business tonight. Dixie State trailing 2-0, 18:45 to play. Newbold will hand off to Stain in the left corner. Pagankoff looking to Newbold, couldn't get it to him. Instead to Schofield, 3 balls straight away, rimmed out, and Oliver goes up high, grabs the rebound. Yellow Jackets the other way. Here's Whitley, will leave for Joe Scott. Scott back to Whitley, 3-point land, right side, whips it back to Scott. He can shoot it. This time puts the ball on the floor, and it floats it over the top of Schofield and scores it.
You know, Carrick, this team leads the conference in field goal percentage. They're going to get high percentage shots, and they look for those shots that they're comfortable with that time right down the middle of the lane.
Trailblazers trailing 4-0, 18:05 remaining. Jason Youngblood probing, nothing there. Instead, he'll whip it back around the horn to Pagankoff. Pagankoff, backdoor pass to Youngblood and through Dason's hands and out of bounds, a turnover.
You know, we talk about taking care of the ball. That, you know, those are types of mistakes that Coach Judkins, he addressed those in shoot-around today and knows that they're going to hurt his team, and talk to his point guards about the importance of just controlling the ball.
Oliver inside, and he's denied by Hunter Schofield into the hands of Dason Youngblood. He'll push it up the floor. Stops, leaves for Schofield. Layup, no, but a foul, and 2 free throws coming for Hunter Schofield. You like that. Makes the defensive play on one end, gets rewarded with the field goal attempt on the other. 2 free throws coming for Hunter Schofield after the foul against Antonio Kaplan.
I love that role that, you know, Hunter Schofield's finally starting to settle into his role a little bit. You know, yes, he's been putting a lot of points on the board and does a good job of getting them big plays. But we've seen now, second night in a row, he's made a huge defensive play in the post. So his presence defensively is just as important as it is offensively.
First free throw up and in, as well as the second for Schofield. He's got 2 points on the night. Free throws brought to you by Vintage at Canyonlands. Trailblazers trailing 4-2, 17:30 remaining, 20 seconds to shoot for the Yellow Jackets. And it's Whitley to set it up. Skip pass into the left corner to Desnica. Desnica, a couple of dribbles, steps back left wing, bouncing into Scott, working against Schofield, gets to the inside of the paint, floats with the right hand and scores. 4 points for Joe Scott, 17 points per game average for Scott. Last night in Salt Lake City scored 18 points on 5 of 11 shooting from the field. And an offensive foul on the other end will go against Frank Stain, picking up an early foul again. It'll be interesting to see how he reacts to this. Trailblazers trailing 6-2, 17:02 remaining.
Talking about Joel Scott, you know, he's shooting over 60% from the field. He definitely knows where he wants to get the ball, and he's very good at getting it there.
On the other end, Black Hill State will throw it away and out of bounds. Oliver expecting someone to be in the corner, nobody there, and out of bounds. Kelby Hoffines, the Dixie State trainer, probably could have got that one.
He was ready.
What do you like to say? He's shot ready.
Shot ready.
The Trailblazers will set up the offense, 16:42 to go. Dixie State a 6-2 deficit. Youngblood will bounce in, right block to Schofield, operating to the left, getting into the center of the paint, spins back to the baseline of the floater, no, but Jack Pagankoff a steal the other way, and he's pushed to the ground by Oliver, and that is unnecessary. Coach Judkins asking for a intentional foul or some sort of flagrant, and they're going to look at it, I think.
Hit the
Oh,
monitor.
no, they're not. And the referee going to say that he didn't think it was flagrant. They're not even going to look at it. But there's no question it was a frustration foul. That absolutely deserved a second look.
It was even the taunting afterwards.
Yeah,
that
and he
kinda
walked
validated.
over him. I mean, that's textbook. You have to come take a look at that. They're not going to. And I mean, that's early for that kind of stuff to be going down as they try to get the right amount on the shot clock. We're going to see it once again And he just reached out, and it maybe on the replay didn't look as bad as it did from back here. But like you said, it was the taunt as well. Trailblazers with possession on a 28-second shot clock into Schofield. This shot is blocked, and it goes into the hands of Trey Whitley. Here come the Yellow Jackets. Whitley behind the back dribble. Now gets inside, hangs, and can't hit with the left. Rebound to Jack Pagankoff. Jack wants to push it. It's knocked out of his hands from behind by Whitley and off of Pagankoff and out of bounds. Back to the Yellow Jackets.
No, Carrick, I'm going to go back to our Lonnie Boys barbecue keys of the game and add handle emotion. This is going to be a very emotional game, and it's important that Dixie not feed in to this bait where you can see Black Hill State.
Oliver will get to the lane and lay it up and in. 8-2 Black Hill State lead, 15:55 to go. Dixie State trailing by 6. 0 for 5 from the field, just similar to last night's start when they started 0 for 8. Newbold, three-pointer straight away, and he buries it. The first Mountain America 3-ball of the night, cuts the lead in half at 8-5.
Dixie's got to be careful. They do not want to be playing much behind with this Black Hill State team. They are not going to be light.
And Joe Scott stuffed by Newbold, gets his own rebound though. Second try, no. Schofield the rebound. Ladies and gentlemen, strap your seatbelts on. This is going to be a fun one. It's going to be a battle. I know that's cliche. Youngblood, 10-foot jumper in the lane. He gets it to go. A quick 5-0 spurt for the Trailblazers, and they're within one at 8-7. 15-10 to play. This is like a carbon copy of last night's game to this point.
Yeah, you can see there's already one big adjustment that Coach Judkins and his staff's going to be making here soon.
Oliver gets inside, and he is fouled. That'll take us to the media. Foul against Pagankoff. Andre Wilson and Cameron Chatwin will check in. But first, the media. 14:59 to go. Dixie State trailing 8-7. 60-second timeout and back to the Burns on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
When Southern Utah thinks of home furnishings, they think of Boulevard Home. But when Boulevard Home thinks about home, Southern Utah comes to mind. In 1974, local pioneer descendant Tony Whitwer decided to start a furniture business. He decided to name it after Southern Utah's most famous street, St. George Boulevard. Even though Tony has retired, his family's legacy still lives in who we are, a company dedicated to one goal, making your house home. Boulevard Home. Home is who we are.
Camping World is here to help you connect to adventure and explore the outdoors with friends and family. Offering new and pre-owned RVs to fit every budget and thousands of parts and accessories for any need. Camping World has it all. With over 130 supercenters nationwide, you're never far from America's #1 RV dealer. No matter where your adventures take you, whether you need an RV, parts, or service, Camping World is here to help you every
14:59 to go,
step of
Dixie
the
State.
way. Visit Camping World in St. George or shop campingworld.com today.
Start from last night as we welcome the TV and internet audience back in as well. 8-7 Dixie State deficit. They started 0 for 5 from the field, and it's like as soon as they see the first shot go through, Newbold hits a 3, and Youngblood says, oh, I can hit 2, and gets a jumper to go in the paint. Trailblazers down only 1.
They're down 1, but offensively, they've yet to find that rhythm. Those 2 threes were big, but they were not threes that were part of the offense. Right, so they still have to establish the offensive presence and run those sets that they're comfortable with.
Back in play we go. Dixie State trailing 8-7. Yellow Jackets with possession. 14:50 remaining in the first half. 12-second shot clock. A backdoor pass inside to Desnitsa, and they kind of lost him. He was open. They collapsed on him, and Cameron Chatwin will pick up the foul. Desnitsa will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Well, Desnitsa's a pretty good free throw shooter. Statistically, he's one of their best scorers. He's got a good stroke. Not a guy you want to send to the free throw line often.
Desnitsa misses the first.
We'll take it.
We'll take it. Curse of the commentator. Broadcaster's jinx, however you want to say it. He's a 77% free throw shooter this season. Last night made both of his 2 free throw attempts. The second one is in. Desnitsa with 3 points for the Yellow Jackets. And Black Hill State a 9-7 lead. 14:45 remaining. Frank Stain holding left wing, top of the key, Andre Wilson. And a travel. And Andre's confused. And quite frankly, I didn't quite catch. Did he change his pivot feet? we'll get another look at it here. And he just settled into his stance and got called for a travel. However, though, going to go in as a turnover, and Dixie State gives it back to Black Hill State. Desnitsa gets to the rack and lays it in with the left hand. He's got 5 in the early going, and it's an 11-7 Black Hill State lead. Dixie State will hit the other way. Andre Wilson knocks it in, and the scoreboard says 9-9, but it should be 11-9. They did not get the last Black Hill State bucket on the scoreboard. And Scott will get inside and put it in, and he lays it in. It's 13-9 Black Hill State. Andre Wilson the other way, couldn't get it to go. Joel Scott the rebound. And now they've got the correct score on the scoreboard, 13-9. Yellow Jackets with possession, 13:40 remaining. Here's Dukic, checked in during the timeout. Jack Pagankoff, another steal in transition, and he'll lay it up and in. And Dixie State within 2, 13-11, a second steal of the night for Pagankoff.
Heads up play by the senior point guard, knew exactly where that passing lane needed to be.
Desnitsa fires a 3 straight away, rims out. Andre Wilson will tip it to Frank Stain. Stain swings it across court to Pagankoff, left corner, dumps it inside Schofield on the left block. He's backing in, he traveled. And Joel Scott absorbed the first bump, then pulled the chair out from under Schofield, and Schofield went down.
It's getting chippy out there. You see, it's a great post touch. That's exactly where he wants to catch it. Now, it's a good move. Like he said, Joel Scott pulled the chair on him and tried to help Hunter Schofield up, and he said, no thanks, I'll get up myself. I don't need any help from you. I will do this on my own.
We're barely 7 minutes into the first half, and these two teams, I think that the altercation, the little foul on Pagankoff certainly just ramped up the chippiness for sure, with only a couple minutes gone by at that point. Yellow Jackets the possession, 12:50 remaining. Here's Dukic, loses, dribbled off the foot of Leighton Parker, and they're going to call a kick. Or are they calling a foul? No, they're saying 20 seconds on the shot clock. He dribbled off the foot of Leighton Parker. Parker's foot was on the floor. I don't know if we've got to look at it. We have time to even look at it before the next play. So we're going to see it right here. Dukic dribbles onto the foot of Leighton Parker. No kick involved. Nevertheless, it'll stay with the Yellow Jackets. Dukic. Into the right corner, pass tipped by Parker and into the Dixie State bench. Black Hill State will have 12 seconds to find a shot. It'll be Joel Scott to inbound. They're going to Dukic. Shot clock under 10. Now Stephenson. Swinging around the key to Donovan. Donovan to Dukic. Deep 3 left wing. No. Rebound to Parker.
Flop.
And they're going to call a flop warning on Sava Dukic. First warning. And that's new this year. In college basketball, you get 1 warning. And then if you do it again, it's a technical foul.
Not very often do you see an offensive player with the ball get called for a flop warning.
Dixie State the other way, 12:14 remaining. Parker will bounce inside Chatwin, and Scott might be able to get called for a flop warning there as well, as he went down pretty easy. The block goes against Scott. They're going to say free throws or on the ground? They're going to say on the ground.
Well, definitely a lot of contact there. Cameron Chatwin taking the ball extremely hard. 1 or 2 dribbles right to the rim. You got to love that toughness.
Youngblood into Chatwin. Chatwin back to Dayson Youngblood. Dayson will pull up 15-footer left side over the top of the basket. Ball is loose into the hands of Stephenson. Snoldier Stephenson with the board for the Yellow Jackets. And here comes BHSU. We're under 12. Media timeout coming on the next whistle. Dukic to Scott, and he's bumped by Youngblood. And that will bring us to the media. 11:47 to go, first half. Black Hill State 13 and Dixie State 11. 60-second timeout and back to St. George on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
For Grumps, the holidays can feel like the dumps.
Doesn't all this good cheer?
He asked.
Just hurt your ears?
But from time to time, something changes their
I
mind.
feel sad.
She said.
You can feel cheer instead.
You might be right.
So he got the card in a tree, and his cheer grew by 3. Get your Mountain America rewards card today for 3 times the cheer this holiday.
Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. Dixie State trailing 13-11. Quick look at our early stats, the game summary. Trailblazers 4-11 from the field, 36%. 1 of 2 from the outside, 50% made their only 2 free throw attempts. Black Hill State, on the other hand, 50% from the field, 6 of 12. Mike, what have you noticed through the first 8 minutes of this game?
Well, offensively, Black Hill State's going to look to just really pound the ball inside. They're 0 for 2 from the three-point line. Not a team that's going to be looking to kill you with a 3 ball. They're not a team that's looking for that shot, but they are very good, using that dance dribble at the top and try to get to the hole. And also very physical. Huge team.
Yellow Jackets with the possession out of the timeout. Dukic to trigger, baseline right side, will lob in. It's Stephenson. Stephenson back to Dukic. Dukic with 15 to shoot. Over to Trey Whitley back into the game. He's holding left wing. We'll give to Scott. Scott in the corner. Back to Whitley. Quick pass Stephenson. Fakes right, goes left, jumps, passes to the left corner. Scott for 3. Misses everything. Offensive rebound, Oliver. He'll swing it around. Shot clock violation. Oliver did not know there was only 2 seconds on the shot clock on the offensive rebound. In fact, I said Oliver, that's Antonio Capley, my bad. Capley on the offensive rebound, passed it back out, and that led to the shot clock violation.
Yeah, when we talk about one of our keys is guarding their stuff. Perfect example, that 30 seconds. They did a very good job of guarding their skips and making sure that they were talking and communicating on that set.
Trailblazers the other way, can tie with a 2, take the lead with a 3. 11-14 to go first half. Trailblazers have not led in this game. Parker will whip to Pagankoff. Left wing 3, too strong. And into the hands of Oliver. Trey Whitley, excuse me. Oliver's just my go-to name tonight. Every player on the floor is Oliver. Whitley will lean into a 15-foot bank shot. It comes off the front side of the rim. And Youngblood snares the rebound. He pushes it up. Gets inside, hangs, can't hit, but free throw's coming. And Dason Youngblood heading to our vintage at Canyonlands free throw line.
Carrick, before the game, I had a chance to sit down with Coach Thompson and talk about their keys for the game. And one thing that he complimented Dixie State on is their use of the ball screen, that high screen. That time, Dason Youngblood doing a very good job of coming off of that Jared Green screen that got him all the way to the rim. So a focus for the Yellow Jackets, knowing that Dixie's going to use that high on-ball screen. And at that time, Dason Youngblood doing a very good job of controlling the timing and the pace of that Jared Green screen.
Youngblood will make the first free throw. Again, free throw is brought to you by Vintage at Canyonlands. Student housing, not quite right on campus, but just off of campus. Great place to live, though. Pretty new.
Yeah.
Dason Youngblood will make both. He's got 4, and Youngblood just a 47% free throw shooter, but he makes both. Still early in the season, so some of those free throw percentages, small sample size. 10:39 remaining. We are tied at 13. Dixie State has fought its way back from an early. It was as high as a 7-point deficit. We're tied at 13. Whitley to Scott into the corner. Stephenson open look for 3. Right corner is short. Leighton Parker the rebound, pulls it down, and he'll bring it across the timeline, running the point right now. Whips it to Newbold. Thought about a 3. Decides against it. Dribble handoff left side. Youngblood now to Schofield. Schofield to the point guard. Pagankoff. Pagankoff to Parker, will bounce mid-post right side, and a fadeaway jumper. Schofield hits the front iron, bounces off the back, and falls into the hands of Tyler Oliver.
Not a bad look for Hunter Schofield.
Yellow Jackets quickly the other way. Here's Scott and Oliver left wing. Puts the ball on the floor, behind the back dribble, goes to the left, kick to Stephenson, whip to Scott, passes up on a 3, drives inside. The floater is too strong. Youngblood chases down a long rebound and jumps, leaps into the Dixie State bench, but tosses the ball back into play. Here's Parker. They'll swing it to Schofield as they set up the offense. Now Youngblood's back on the end of the floor with the Trailblazers. Parker, left wing, steps into a 3. 1 dribble, 3, too strong, but Youngblood able to chase down a long rebound. Trailblazers reset a fresh 20. Not 30 this year, but just 20 on an offensive rebound. Youngblood to the right, off a screen, gets inside, slips, and tries to pass, but falls to the ground into the hands of Stephenson. And here come the Yellow Jackets. Turnover number 5 for the Trailblazers tonight. Oliver will step into a 3 with Youngblood guarding him. No. Ball bounces around. Parker chases the rebound down, bounces off of Stephenson and out of bounds. But do they say that Parker stepped out first? No. And they're going to call it a foul. A foul against Snovier Stephenson.
Yellow Jackets still 0 for 4 from the three-point line. Dixie doing a very good job of taking away that dribble drive penetration they were successful with the first part of the game. And now they're kind of daring them to hit those threes. They want to make sure that they're going to take away their strength and make them hit something from deep.
Black Hills State 38% from beyond the arc as a team coming into this one. Pagankoff spinning to the left, fadeaway jumper, couldn't get it to go, and into the hands of Stefan Desnitsa. Yellow Jackets the other way. Desnitsa misses, and then it falls off of him and out of bounds. And Dixie State will get it back.
Another solid possession there defensively for Dixie State. You know, it's fun to look at a scattering report and the shoot around and see a game plan. It's even better, Carrick, to see it unfolding the way that the coaches would like to defensively.
Trailblazers and the Yellow Jackets tied at 13. Dixie State with 15 to shoot. 8:15 on the game clock, approaching the under 8 media. Frank Stain on the left wing. Hand off to Pagankoff. Crossover, step back, three-pointer left wing is good. Another Mountain America three-pointer. And the Trailblazers, their first lead of the night at 16-13. 8 minutes to go till halftime.
Oh, scripted change defensively. Dixie going back to their 2-3 zone.
Desnitsa. Left side. Pass tipped, it's loose, and off of the feet of Oliver. It was loose. Frank Stain got a hand on it and knocked it off the foot of Tyler Oliver, and Dixie State will get it back. 16-13, Dixie State leading, 7:48 to go. We got to take a 60-second timeout, come back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
There is a place where looking out means looking in, where an impression lasting only a few seconds will be imprinted on a life forever, where courage is forged and innocence rediscovered, where remembering is rewarding and forgetting unforgettable. There is a place where truth is felt and where seeing is believing. There is a place.
Radio Dixie 91.3. We don't play that. Nope, not that. A big fat no there. That's what we play. And stuff like that. On St. George's only alternative, Radio Dixie 91.3. Oh, and from 9 till midnight, we play this. I need a one dance. And this. Radio Dixie 91.3 FM.
7:48 to go. Dixie State, its first lead of the game, 16-13. Carrick Sagman, the Mike Olson with you, and we talk about how good Dixie State is at making adjustments and adjusting on the fly, and Coach Judkins switching things up, certainly throwing different defenses and offenses tonight, and it's worked. They've been able to come back and they lead 16-13.
Well, Coach Thompson mentioned before the game that he knows that that's a trend of Coach Judkins, and he said we've got to make sure that we're prepared for when he switches up his defense on us and make sure that we're alert. That time, looks like Coach Judkins caught him off guard, going from that man-to-man to a 2-3 zone for one possession.
Trailblazers lead it 16-13, 7:40 to play. Dixie State with possession out of the timeout. Pagankoff, no offensive foul. The jack push off. No, they're going to go against Newbold. Newbold will pick up the foul. His first. And Coach Judkins knew it immediately, agreed with the call. And the classic Coach Juddy foot stomp. And giving some instruction to Josh Newbold on his way back up the floor. Going as a turnover, and that's turnover number 7 for Dixie State in the first half. I don't think they're going to keep it under 10 tonight, Mike.
No.
Desnitsa driving inside. Schofield there to help. Shot is missed, but offensive rebound, Capley. They'll kick it to Whitley. Shot did not draw iron. Shot clock did not reset. Oliver realizes it, drives inside, floats, and an offensive foul on Tyler Oliver as Hunter Schofield draws the charge.
Heads-up play there by Hunter Schofield. You know, again, we're going to go back to the scouting report. Great help side D, steps outside the circle, gets himself in position, and takes it right in the chest. Great play there by Hunter Schofield.
Oliver's second foul. 7th team foul, but it was an offensive foul, so no free throws. Trailblazers will have free throws the rest of the way. Newbold, right wing 3 on the give from Pagan-Koff, and he splashes it home. It's up and in, 19-13 Dixie State lead. Newbold with 6.
Dixie on a 7-0, a 10-0 run now, 10-0 run for Dixie State.
An astute observation. They were trailing 13-9, and now it's 19-13, and a whistle and a turnover. Antonio Capley got a dunk, but he stepped on the baseline before he could go up, and a turnover, and Dixie State will get it back, and you can just feel this thing. You know, Uncle Mo, the old momentum is a funny thing, and once it swings, it swings. 6:35 to go first half. Trailblazers a 19-13 advantage. Stain to Pagan-Koff, three-point land straight away. Hesitates, now drives inside, hangs and hits off the window. Kisses it off the glass. What a play.
That's what we love, having a senior point guard that just knows how to play. Just a real smart heads-up play there by Jack Pagan-Koff.
7 points for Jack Pagan-Koff. 3 of 6 from the field. He's got 3 steals and 2 assists as well. 21-13. Whitley slips but keeps the dribble alive, then carries it. He made the Harlem Globetrotters type move, going to the ground while still dribbling, and then got back up and carried the ball.
It's a good call by the official. Picking up, he held that ball, kept it on his hip just a little bit too long.
Youngblood bouncing inside Pagan-Koff. 1 dribble working on Whitley. He'll score it inside. Pagan-Koff with 9, and just like that, it's a 23-13 Dixie State, the 10-point lead. And a timeout taken by Coach Ryan Thompson. He wants to talk it over. We'll call it a 14-0 run for the Trailblazers to take the lead at 23-13. A 30-second timeout. We keep it right here. Remind you, timeout's brought to you by Dairy Queen. But what a turn of events for this Dixie State team. They lead at 23-13 after trailing 13-9.
Well, Carrick, if you look at it, this team statistically in the RMAC, Black Hills State leads the RMAC in field goal percentage. Just to tell you how good Dixie's defense has been the last, 8 minutes and 5 seconds. They have held Black Hills State 1 for 10 shooting. This is the team that leads the RMAC in offensive field goal percentage. Dixie holding them to 1 out of 10 the last 8 minutes.
Out of the timeout, 5:48 remaining. Dixie State a 23-13 lead. And it's been a 8-minute, 13-second stretch for Black Hills State. 8-13 scoreless for the Yellow Jackets since leading 13-9. Scott inside, spinning, nobody there. Will jump it in traffic. It's loose. Schofield will pull it down for Dixie State. Stain to Youngblood. Pulls up, right elbow jumper, in and out, halfway down and popped out. This needs to the rebound for the Yellow Jackets. 5:10 remaining. Dixie State a 10-point lead. Stephenson. Left side is Nitsa and Scott kicking it to Dukic. Dukic to Desnitsa. Back to Dukic. Baseline left side, he's trapped. Splits 2 defenders, back to Desnitsa. Left wing 3, rims out. Dason Youngblood the rebound. Youngblood pushes across the timeline. Cross over to the right. Gives to Pagan-Koff. Top of the key, Schofield. Schofield driving inside. Spinning right. Knocked out of his hands. Regains. Got to Youngblood and Pagan-Koff. 15 to shoot. Plenty of time. Pagan-Koff denies a screen from Newbold. Instead pulls up for 3 and splashes it home. He's feeling it tonight. He says, I don't need that. I got the golden touch right now. He splashed it home. He's got 12.
Well, that push early in the game, it got him going a little bit and just channeled that focus because he is dialed in, Carrick.
26-13. It's a 17-0 run for the Trailblazers. Over the last 9:35, 4:05 remaining. Desnitsa to Stephenson. Pump fake, gets Stain off his feet, drives inside, and he's fouled by Stain. May have saved a layup. Another going to get Youngblood. Looked like maybe Stain reached back after he left his feet. No, it's Youngblood. My apologies, Frank.
Sixth team foul, so they'll take it out underneath. Dixie State still has held Black Hills State scoreless the last 10 minutes exactly. Great defensive effort. This last 10 minutes, we have been treated with some phenomenal defense by Dixie State.
Trailblazers a 26-13 lead, 4:01 remaining. Oliver holding. Will lob out to Desnica. Oliver to Dukic. Catch and shoot three, left wing, and that will end the scoreless stretch. It was a stretch of 10 minutes scoreless for Black Hills State before Dukic knocked in that three to tie it 26-16. Green the other way. Good look. A right-hand hook shot, but it rims out. And here come the Yellow Jackets. Oliver, we are under 4, media timeout coming next whistle. Desnica to Dukic. Oliver, back to Dukic. Passing to Scott, left corner, 10 to shoot. 3:20 on the game clock. Oliver, left wing, 3 on the way and in, and this team can shoot it from outside. It was just a matter of when the lid came off, and it's a 26-19 Dixie State lead.
Well, it's important for them now to break that streak. You know, they've got to find a bucket.
Pagankoff inside will toss it up. He's fouled. Will they give him the free throws?
No shot.
No shot. It was a heady move.
Yeah.
As soon as he felt the contact, he tossed it up there. He got it on frame. They're going to say no shot. The Dixie State will have free throws either way. It'll be 1-1 out of the timeout. 3:06 remaining. Dixie State leading 26-19. 60-second timeout and back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
I got you right where I want you. I make this one, it's over. I win.
No pressure. Bring it.
We may not always play good, but when we want to look good, we come to the Dixie State campus store.
Located on the second floor of the Gardner Center. We'll see you there.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere, and just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
.306 remaining, Dixie State. A 26-19 lead. It was a 17-0 run and a stretch of 10 minutes scoreless for the Yellow Jackets, but then they get the lid off and respond with back-to-back three-pointers to cut the lead to 7, 26-19. The Trailblazers leading by 7. Take a look at our stats again. Trailblazers 40% from the field, 9 of 22. 4 of 7 from the outside, so like last night, lights out from beyond the arc, 57%. 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 34% for Black Hills State, 8 of 23 from the field, 2 of 8 beyond the arc, and 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Dixie State, 3 assists on the 9 made baskets. The Mike 7 turnovers. Though those 7 came through the first 10 minutes, they've not turned it over in the last 7 minutes or so. Jack Pagankoff front into the 1-and-1, rims out, and Oliver the rebound. 2:58 remaining. Here's Scott. Trailblazers lead by 7. Dukic broke the scoreless streak. He'll bounce inside right into the hands of Frank Stain. We'll see if that leads to something offensive for Stain. A couple of dribbles. Top of the key, Chatwin. Wilson, you kind of feel like Stain just needs to see one go through here. Stain will hang, hit. No, he missed it, popped out. A lot of contact, no whistle. Rebound for Whitley and the Yellow Jackets. Whitley pushes the ball up the floor and hesitates and drives inside, reverses from right to left and scores it.
Another Black Hills State bucket. You know, they've got a pretty good run going on themselves.
And a whistle, and we got some blood, water on the floor. So they'll dry that up. It looked like Black Hills State pulled their chairs out onto the floor during that last media timeout. Had some water spilled. Hey, there's a reason that there's a rug on the sideline. Yes. I want the chairs to stay there. Come on.
Manners.
2:22 to go. Newbold to Pagankoff. He'll get inside, reverse, and he can't hit it. Would have been pretty quickly up the floor the other way. Here's Dukic, can't handle the baseball pass. Yellow Jackets with it, into Oliver. Oliver now to the right wing. Double teamed in the corner, kicks to Scott. He'll step into a 3 right wing, in and out. Josh Newbold the rebound. 26-21, Dixie State a 5-point lead, 1:50 to go until halftime. Pagenkopf, right elbow, leaves for Newbold. The 3 straight away, short off the front iron, barely drew iron. And here comes Whitley in the Yellow Jackets. Bounce to Oliver. Dribbles through the legs, loses, nearly lost out of bounds, but he's able to regain. Still with it. Crossing over. Jumps a 3 off the backboard. Not a great possession. Never had good control, and he just chucked up a 3. And here comes Pagenkopf. Hesitates, drives inside, high off the window. No tip, put back. Schofield, no. And into the hands of Dukic for the Yellow Jackets. Dukic skip pass into the left corner. Whitley for 3. It rims out. Offensive rebound to Snitza. And the Yellow Jackets reset. Backing in on Pagenkopf. Gives to Whitley, left wing, right back to Desnitsa. Backing in on Pagenkopf. Schofield there to help. Disrupts the shot. It's short, and it falls into the hands of Josh Newbold. Coach Judkins will take a timeout. Use it or lose it variety. And they'll set up a play with 55.9 seconds remaining. It's a 30-second timeout. Remind you, those timeouts are brought to you by Dairy Queen. We will keep it right here. The Trailblazers a 26-21 lead. Trying to add to it with 55.9 seconds remaining. Mike, you've been in plenty of these huddles. What's Coach Judkins drawn up here? Put on your Tony Romo play predictor hat, and what's Dixie State going to do? And that's a look for you TV and internet viewers. It's Marcus Banks.
Nice to have Marcus back. You know, it's great to see him here, and really look forward to working with him in the future. And great to see him back in Burns Arena. Even better to be on his team this time.
And he's getting a standing ovation. Sorry, I cut you off. I never got to hear the play predictor. Now
I was going to say,
bummed.
It's definitely going to be a screen here. Probably, yep, right there. It's going to be back. Look for the duck-in post over here for Newbold.
Wilson with it. Three-point land straight away. Frank Stain is held as he cuts from left to right across the paint. The foul will go against Tommy Donovan.
Well, I can tell you the purpose of the timeout wasn't necessarily offensively, it was defensively.
Yeah.
That time, Dixie's been switching some of those screens, and they found Jack Pagenkopf in the post. So Black Hill State's looking to post up Jack Pagenkopf and use a size advantage with Stefan Desnitsa. So Coach Judkins, more of a defensive strategic move than an offensive one.
Frank Stain will make the first free throw. He'll have one more. Free throws brought to you by Vintage at Canyonlands. Both free throws good for Frank Stain, and that's good to see. Kind of feel like that might get him going. Trailblazers a 7-point lead, 28-21, 40 seconds remaining. Desnitsa to Whitley. 33 on the game, 18 on the shot. Whitley to Dukic, left wing. Guarded by Wilson. Into the corner. Donovan. Top of the key, Dukic. 9 to shoot, 23 on the game. Dukic pushing off a little bit on Stain. Jumps a 3, no. Rebound, Schofield. Trailblazers with 17 seconds to go. Coach Judkins say, hey, slow down. Let's draw a play up here. Let's call a play. And Pagenkopf's got to get it across the timeline. Just does. With 6 seconds to go, Pagenkopf forced back to his right. Passes to Newbold with 3 and 2. Deep 3 at the horn. No, it's off the mark. Not a great last possession. They did get a shot off, but Dixie State, another slow start, but another mid-first half run has the Trailblazers in front, 28-21. Like we always do, Mike, quick hitter thoughts before we go to the halftime break.
What a battle. That was a great 20 minutes of basketball. We are poised for a very fun second half.
We'll step away. We'll take the full 5-minute halftime timeout. Dixie State 28, Black Hill State 21. We'll step away, 5-minute timeout, and back with your Seven Oaks Jewelers halftime report.
For over a century, Dixie State University has been shaping the trailblazers of tomorrow by providing a culture of active learning, active life. With a paradigm of real-world experience mixed with cutting-edge technologies and rich traditions, we provide one of the most affordable educations in the West, set against the most stunning backdrop on the planet.
I'm Smokey Cole Bear, filling in because for 75 years, Smokey only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
Meanwhile, the song was wrong. We did start the fire. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Play Eric Amarola's Race Day Mix.
Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. Seven Oaks Jewelers halftime report. Dixie State a 28-21 lead. Well, it was another slow start. Dixie State Friday night starting 0 of 8 from the field. Tonight they go 0 for 5. Josh Newbold broke that start with a three-pointer, and then Dayson Youngblood followed with a jumper in the paint. And we mentioned it earlier, but almost an exact carbon copy of the first 5 minutes of the game. They were able to fight back into it and then a 17-0 run for the Trailblazers as Black Hills State went scoreless for a 10-minute stretch from the 13-minute mark to the 3-minute mark, and Dixie State took advantage, got some things going, built a double-digit lead at one point. It was cut back to single digits. It's 28-21 at the half. Again, Carrick Segmiller, Mike Olson with you inside the Seven Oaks Jewelers halftime report. We break it down and look at the numbers. Mike, we had some quick hitter thoughts before the break. Let's break it down, look at it a little bit more in depth. In fact, before we even go any further, let's kind of grade out our Lonnie Boys barbecue keys to the game. What did Dixie State do well that we thought they needed to do, and what can they improve on in the second half?
Well, first thing is points in the paint. You know, we talked about key number one, having a post presence. Rebounding, they've been able to do that. I mean, they're not winning the war of the boards at 21-19. They're losing that war, but I think they're doing a good job contesting at the rim. They're changing some shots down low, and they're getting some post touches. The problem is they're getting outscored in the paint 14-6. Now, Black Hills State doing a very good job of pounding the ball inside and getting those high percentage shots. So if we're looking for a grade, you know, it's probably a C for key number one, establishing a post presence. The second key is tempo, talking about tempo. You haven't seen Dixie run as much as they have in the past. You know, early in this season, it has been run. They haven't been able to get that run game going as much. That's a key for Black Hills State. Coach Thompson, he wrote it on the board. They had to stop Dixie's transition and their transition defense, and they've done a good job there. So it'd be nice if Dixie could run just a little bit more. I heard Coach Judkins in one timeout just yell as loud as he could, run, we got to run. We even heard him last night in the postgame talking about his team is more comfortable and more confident when they're running an up-tempo. Finally, the last key, guarding their sets and making sure that they're understanding those half-court sets of Black Hills State and defending them really well. They did during that stretch. Switching up the defense caused some problems for Black Hills State, and that's what led to that big run by Dixie State. That, you know, we talked about that run, that 14-0 run, held them to 1 out of 10 shooting. So you want a grade there, it was an A. I mean, guarding their half-court sets was excellent in the first half. Really changed some things. One adjustment that Black Hills State made early in the game is they were going over the screens at the beginning. They've switched, and now they're starting to go underneath the screens. And so I'm sure Coach Judkins is drawing up a few things, adjustments offensively, to address that adjustment, because now you're going to see more shots coming off of those screens for the offensive side.
A 28-21 Dixie State lead at the half. We'll give you the halftime numbers now. Good stuff from Mike Olson, the coach. If you're wondering why I call him the coach from time to time, if you haven't heard this already, I bring it up almost every game, but he coached with Coach Judkins as a fan hits a half-court shot during halftime. Not sure what the prize was. Maybe a new car? Who knows? Maybe not. But Mike Olson, my broadcast partner here, coached with Coach Judkins for a lot of years. First at Snow College, then here at Dixie State College at the time, and then UTV and interviewers. There's the replay of that half-court shot. But and then helped make the transition to Division II, and good stuff from Mike inside the Vintage at Canyonlands pregame show, or halftime report. 9 of 28 from the field for Dixie State, 32%. 4 for 9 for the field from beyond the arc, 44% there. 6 of 7 from the free throw line, 85% clip. Dixie State being out-rebounded by 2, 21-19. And a slight deficit on both the offensive and the defensive glass. He'd love to see Dixie State with maybe a few more offensive rebounds before this thing is over. Trailblazers just 3 assists on 9 made baskets and 7 turnovers in the first half. The 7's not encouraging, but what is encouraging, it was through the first 10 minutes of play that they picked up those 7 turnovers, and it's been quite some time since they picked one up in the game, while they forced 10 Black Hills State turnovers in the game as well. Individually, it's been Jack Pagankoff putting on a show. 12 points on 5 of 10 shooting, 2 of 3 from the outside, a rebound, 2 assists, and 3 steals for Jack Pagankoff. From there, Josh Newbold with 6 points, and other than that, just a couple of guys with 2, one guy with 4. Trailblazers holding Black Hills State to 31% from the field, 9 of 29, just 2 of 12 from the outside, 16% clip for Black Hills State. So expect the Yellow Jackets to heat up. A team hovering just under 40% on the season from beyond the arc. So they will heat up. And when they do, watch out. Dixie State will need to be on their game, because it's a 7-point lead, as we say every night. It's far from over. Dixie State have to come out and really play to win this thing.
That's right. Coming into the game, scoring, Joel Scott, Tyler Oliver, Stefan Desanitsa, and Trey Whitley, those are their scoring. All of them averaging nearly 15 points a game. So coming into it, they're carrying a very heavy load when it comes to scoring. When they get to their bench, there's not a lot of scoring opportunities there. So this will be an adjustment for Black Hills State when you look at the scoring here. It's a low-scoring ball game. Dixie holding them to 21 points. This is a team that I believe averages close to 80, right? So very good half for Dixie State defensively, but they've got the potential, Black Hills State, with guys like Scott, Oliver, Desanitsa, and Whitley. Those guys are not going to keep quiet for long, all of them. And so being aware of that and coming out and making some adjustments and making sure that they're keeping them quiet. Defensively, I'll say it again, they have disrupted Black Hills State's offense. They forced them into things that they're not comfortable with, and if they can do that the second half, they can extend this lead.
Trailblazers a 28-21 lead. The Seven Oaks Jewelers halftime report. Let's step away for 2 minutes. We come back with the second half on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. Trailblazers 28-21 lead at the half. Want to thank Seven Oaks Jewelers, proud sponsor of our halftime report. Big shout out to Camping World as well, our scoreboard sponsor, as Dixie State a 28-21 lead. Mike, final thoughts before this second half gets underway.
Well, it's important how they start. They've got a 7-point lead. If Dixie can come out and build on that slowly and then maintain that level of defense the second half, look for them to extend that lead. I think we talk about there's 4-minute battles. These next 4 minutes are going to dictate the rest of the game.
Both teams going back to the original starting five. So that will be Jack Pagenkopf, Dason Youngblood, Frank Stain, Josh Newbold, and Hunter Schofield for Dixie State. For Black Hills State, Joel Scott, Trey Whitley, Tyler Oliver, Antonio Capley, Stefan Desanitsa. Dixie State looking for win number 8 on the season. They're 7-0 right now, 2-0 on the RMAC. Black Hills State, on the other hand, trying to get even at 500 overall, and then trying to get RMAC win number 1. We want to give a shout out to the women's soccer team falling today in the Elite 8, the NCAA championship quarterfinals. Falling 3-0 to Western Washington. What a season for the Trailblazers, and what a run. Yeah. the dance eventually ends for everybody except for one. And congratulations to the Trailblazers on a wonderful season, and a shout out to those seniors for all the hard work they put in over 4 years. Back in play we go. Dixie State now moving left to right across your radio dial. And with the first possession of the half, it's Schofield driving inside, gets to the right, shot is blocked by Capley. Trailblazers will have it back on a 20-second shot clock.
You talk about pounding in the post, and post being one of our keys right at the Yellow Jackets, first play of the game.
Inbound pass goes to Schofield, right block, and he goes and scores. Right back into it's like you were in that locker room, right? You know Coach Judkins too well.
Well, they've got to get Hunter going on that block. That's a key, and he's so good and so crafty on that block. He's going to cause some problems for Black Hills State.
30-21, Dixie State by 9, 19:30 remaining. Pagankoff a tip. Goes back across the timeline. They're going to car over and back. Oh, did Pagankoff not tip it? I was kind of looking through Coach Judkins a little bit. I thought it looked like he tipped it.
That's what the two officials are talking about right now.
But Oliver reacted like he was trying to throw it back across the timeline. We're going to get a quick look. No, Pagankoff didn't get it. Just bounced off the hands of Oliver.
Good call.
Replay amazing.
Yeah.
What would we do without instant replay? 19:20 to go. Pagankoff catch and shoot. Left wing three, and he's on another level tonight. Pagankoff with a game-high 15 points. And Dixie State a 12-point lead.
That time using Hunter Schofield as a screen right there as a decoy to get Jack Pagankoff open.
Whitley inside, kicking it out to Oliver, holding left wing. Oliver drives inside, bounces, and it's kicked right at the feet of Pagankoff and kicked out of bounds. It'll be a 20-second shot clock for the Yellow Jackets. 18:56 remaining, second half. Trailblazers a 12-point lead, 33-21. Lob into Desnica. To Scott, three-point land straight away. Swinging it right side, Oliver. Oliver inside Scott into the right corner. Three ball on the way, rims out, and Pagankoff the long rebound. He'll push it across the timeline, wants to run. Jack leaves it for Schofield. One dribble, couple of dribbles. Inside, bumped a little bit by Capley. The floater wouldn't go. Yellow Jackets the rebound. Scott kicking it into the left corner. Desnica for three, and it's in.
That time Hunter Schofield falling down offensively. It took him some time to get back, and they had to protect the rim first and give up a three-pointer.
33-24. Stain, free throw line. Over to the left side, Pagankoff drives into the paint and will scoop and score from left to right.
That's such a dangerous combination. When Hunter Schofield is up there setting a screen and they go underneath, they've got to respect Jack coming off, but they also have to respect Hunter rolling.
Whitley, baseline right side jumper, 17-footer is in. Dixie State lead trimmed back down to 9, 35-26 with 17:40 remaining. Into Schofield, working on the right block, gets Capley off his feet and spins back to the left and lays it in with the left hand. He's got 6.
I'll say it again, he is tough to guard. That time using the opposite, going his right shoulder with the left hand. So great move by Hunter Schofield.
37-26, Dixie State an 11-point lead with 17:10 remaining. Second half. Whitley looking inside, nothing there. Now he'll enter a pass to Scott, guarded by Newbold. Backing in on Newbold, gets into the paint, left side, kicks it back out, Whitley. And he's fouled as he crosses into the paint from the right elbow by Dason Youngblood. Second foul against Dason. Make that his third.
You can see a great close out there by Dason. He's just a little bit too tight with that left hand. He would have had his hands up. His hips and his feet were in great position. Just got caught with that left hand right there on his hip.
16:58 remaining. Yellow Jackets the possession. 15 to shoot. Oliver holds. Gives to Whitley. Whitley driving inside. Kicks it back out. Top of the key, Oliver. Behind the back pass, Desnica. Touch pass, Dukic. 3 left wing, yes. Good ball movement for the Yellow Jackets, and it pays off with a 3-point shot. 37-29. Dixie State the 8-point lead. 16:33 remaining. Frank Stain will hold right wing. And a whistle and a foul away from the ball. Will go against Tyler Oliver. Personal foul number 3 against Oliver. First team foul against Black Hills State. Both teams with 1 foul. Black Hills State will enter Snolvjur Stephenson into the ball game. Oliver will get a rest. Andre Wilson catches the inbound pass, hangs, and it hits the front iron and rolls through after the 5-foot jumper in the lane for Andre Wilson.
Another successful OB underplay by Coach Judkins. You know, he's great at drawing those up.
16-12 remaining. Trailblazers by 10, 39-29. Whitley for 3, right wing. It rims out. Schofield the rebound. Wilson running the point. Hesitates, drives inside, high off the window and in.
You know, there's a statistic in the NBA that's called screen assists. Hunter Schofield would lead the RMAC in screen assists with the way that he uses his body as a shield for his guards.
41-31, 41-39, 29. Goodness gracious. And a foul against Dixie State the other way. The points went on the wrong side of the scoreboard, and I couldn't spit out what the real score was. 41-29, Dixie State a 12-point lead. And a foul against the Trailblazers will go against Schofield, his first. 15:40 remaining. Trailblazers a 41-29 lead. We'll take a 60-second timeout. Come back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
You know, we may have started out small, but we were great. Families and fans rallied behind their team. The community cared, and everyone showed up to cheer. Now, we're bigger than ever. Dixie State is going to Division I.
Here we go in transition, and he throws it down with one hand.
But at the end of the day, it's the community and fans that make us great. Whether you give $5 or 1,000, every dollar, every seat in the stands, every one of you can help blaze our trail to Division I athletics. Because this is our team.
Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. Let's take a look at Dixie State's last bucket. Mike, break this down for us as you see.
You can see Hunter Schofield walks down with his hands up. He's signaling to Miller that, hey, I'm walking down the middle. I'm not going to sit here and set an obvious screen because then it's going to allow Black Hills State to set up that on-ball defense. Very crafty. Put his hands up, signaling to his point guard, hey, here's a screen, but I'm just going to walk to where I need to be. You use me as a shield and get to the rim. Heads up play by Hunter Schofield and his guard.
Black Hills State with possession out of the timeout. 41-29. Trailblazers a 12-point lead. 15:39 remaining. Oliver back into the game for the Yellow Jackets. To Stephenson, top of the key, back to Oliver. Driving inside, hangs and shoots with the left. Too hard off the window. Frank Stain the rebound for the Trailblazers. Give to Pagankoff. Jack into the left corner. High pass. Wilson brings it down, drives the inline, and is fouled on his way inside. And Joel Scott can't believe it.
I'll tell you, Andre Wilson got fouled, but he's the one that delivered the punishment on that play. You can see going left right here, right to the middle. There's a lot of contact.
He got his money's worth on that one,
Joel
didn't he?
Scott took that one right in the chest. Unfortunately, he was moving just a little bit.
15-19 to go. Inbound pass to Wilson. Layup, no. Rebound, Scott. Oliver on his way back up the floor. Will bounce to Scott. Into the left corner, Oliver drives the baseline, passes the inline into the right corner to Stephenson. Skip pass, left wing 3. Scott on the way and in. 9 points for Joe Scott.
Well, we knew we wouldn't keep him quiet the entire half. You know, now it's key that we just not let him get another one.
41-32, Dixie State leads by 9, 14:45 remaining. Ends half number 2. Cameron Chatwin back into the game for Dixie State. Hands off to Wilson, top of the key, Schofield. Bouncing inside, Chatwin right back to Schofield for 3, bang! A Mountain America 3-point shot.
First one of the year for Hunter Schofield.
Gets it to go, and Trailblazers lead by 12, 44-32, 14:20 remaining. Whitley drives inside. Shot is blocked by Andre Wilson. They're going to call a foul. Andre doesn't like it. Whitley made a great move in the left corner to get free, and he falls hard. He's helped up by his teammates, and he'll go to the line for 2 free throws.
Okay, Eric, we talked about that. Key number 1, contending at the rim. That doesn't mean just big guys. Andre Wilson, he knows how important it is to protect the rim, and he's athletic enough to go and do it. So guards getting in a little bit with that rim protection.
Trey Whitley, a 90% free throw shooter. Coming into tonight's game, 18 for 20 coming into tonight's game. His first free throw attempt of the night is good. Rattles around and falls through. He's got 6 on the night. 44-33. Check that, make that 5 points for Whitley. Second one on the way and in. Same thing. He's consistent. Yeah. Uses all the rim and it falls through. 44-34. Dixie State a 10-point lead. 14-12 remaining. Pagenkopf coming off a career night last night with 23 points.
Got a feeling that's not going to last long, that career night.
Trying to do it again. Pass to the sideline. And Steve Johnson, Associate AD for Media Relations, makes the catch. Tried to take home a souvenir, but he'll bounce it back in. Dixie State arguing that it was tipped.
It was definitely tipped.
Good play made at the scorer's table. Got to protect the equipment.
Shot ready.
13:45 remaining. Dixie State a 10-point lead, 44-34. Scott setting things up for Black Hill State. Dedesnitsa to Whitley. Whitley's been a little bit of a spark plug for this Yellow Jacket team in the second half, and he draws a foul in the lane. Coach Judkins does not like the foul call. He turns and slaps the scorer's table. A little easier to do this year, the scores table with this new LED scores table that's higher. You've had to swing through a lot farther to get to the old one.
What Coach Judkins is upset about is the ball. He felt like he didn't have control of the ball. That the ball was being juggled, and Whitley, you can see as he's dribbling here, he didn't quite have control of the ball.
They call the reach on Pagenkopf, and he didn't really get much of him. And that's the second foul against Pagenkopf. And some discussion. Are they discussing whether it was a
switching his jersey?
Oh, he's got some blood on it. They're taking the undershirt off. Whitley had the undershirt on.
Wardrobe timeout.
Black Hill State has officially burned their wardrobe timeout for the evening. A special kind of timeout. You can only use it between the 15-minute and the 10-minute mark in the second half. Back in play we go. Oliver driving inside, a finger roll with the left hand, a beauty, and he lays it up and in. 4 points for Tyler Oliver. Excuse me, make that 7. And an 8-point Dixie State lead, 44-36. Pagenkopf leads for Schofield inside. What a dish, and he missed the shot. An open shot from 5 feet, and he missed it.
That was a good look. You know, they saw something there offensively that they like, and Hunter Schofield, that was a high percentage shot, just unfortunately short.
12:44 remaining. Dixie State, an 8-point lead, 44-36. 10-second shot clock. Tyler Oliver left side, down to 7 and 5 on the shot clock. Joel Scott steps into a 3 straight away, too strong. Andre Wilson goes up high and grabs the rebound. Trailblazers with possession. Andre to Pagenkopf, right wing. Pagenkopf back to Wilson, over to Leighton Parker into the game. Parker will bounce to Pagenkopf. One dribble, back to Parker to Schofield. Baseline left side. Center of the floor now, Wilson. To the left wing, Parker for 3, bingo.
Great execution there by Dixie State. You saw the ball change sides, 3 times they reversed it. Inside, out, great patience there by Dixie State to wait for the defense to miss a rotation and find an open player.
Dixie State 7 of 12 from beyond the arc tonight. 47-36, 11-point lead. We are under 12. Media timeout coming on the next whistle. Oliver will bounce inside to Scott. Pump fake. He's fouled by Parker. Yes, a foul on Leighton Parker. Coach Judkins wants a travel. But they say a push in the back by Leighton Parker. That'll bring us to the under 12 media. 11:38 to go. Dixie State 47. Black Hills State 36. 1 minute timeout and back to the Burns on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. Trailblazers a 47-36 lead. Leading by 11. Trailblazers answering each time the Black Hills State makes a big shot, trying to cut back into the lead. Trailblazers there to answer with a big shot of their own. 7 of 12 from the outside. This Trailblazer team has been lights out from 3 this year, and that's a new wrinkle to the. They've always had some shooters, and Coach Judkins has admitted as much, in our post-game interviews with him, that they adapt and they go with what they have, and they have 3-point shooters this year, and it's benefiting the Trailblazers greatly.
Absolutely, they're really shooting it well.
Scott, first free throw is up and in. He's got 10. And he makes them both. 11 points for Joe Scott. Lead down to 9, 47-38. 11:35 remaining. Wilson across the timeline will bounce into Schofield. Pump fake and goes up. Gets it to go with contact. Bucket in the foul. Hunter Schofield to the line for a free throw. Brought to you by Vintage at Canyonlands.
Well, it's a great heads-up play there by Hunter Schofield. He could have gone up the first time, but that pump fake, knowing that he was going to have an off-balance defender and be able to go up and possibly get to 2-1. So great play there by Hunter Schofield, but give Andre Wilson a lot of credit for finding the big guy. Great pass right across the lane to set up that 2-1. Hunter Schofield, again, getting it done in the post. We've talked about how important that first 4 minutes was. The first 4 minutes of this half, Dixie extended that lead. They went the 4 minutes and had 12 points. So great start to the second half for Dixie State.
Free throw is no good from Schofield. Black Hills State the rebound, and they'll set up the offense on the other end. Whitley bounces to Oliver. Oliver back to Whitley. Angle right side, dribbles to the free throw line. Pass is kicked by Dason Youngblood. He almost got away with it. The referee finally gets his whistle in his mouth and stops play.
Great play that there. That coming off that screen, they jumped out and doubled the ball handler and made him make it pass. If it's a hand, it's a foot, anything you can deflect the pass is great.
Dukic to Whitley. 13 seconds for a shot for Black Hills State to Oliver, right wing. Guarded by Stain, screen comes, jump pass to the left side. Whitley for 3 is short. Cameron Chatwin goes up high and grabs the board. Trailblazers lead by 11. Here's Stain. He's for Chatwin, catch and shoot 3, trailing the play, left it short. And Whitley the rebound for the Yellow Jackets. To Scott. Scott to Dukic. Dukic, Trailblazer word mark right side on the angle. Dribbles into the corner, now dribbles the end line. Passes to the left corner, Whitley for 3. And he airballs. Youngblood is bumped on his way back up the floor. And a foul will go against Whitley. His first. Dixie State will have it. Baseline left side. 10:15 remaining. You're inside the Burns Arena. Inbound pass to Leighton Parker. Parker to Schofield. One-on-one with Scott left side. Backing in toward the block. Scott pushes him out a little bit, but Schofield takes what he gives him, gets into the paint, floats and scores with a right.
Another good move. You know, Coach Judkins is liking that matchup, and point guards are rewarding Hunter Schofield with entry passes on the block.
9:54 remaining. We are under 10. Dixie State at 13-point lead, 51-38. Desnitsa will drive inside, and he's fouled by Schofield. He put an elbow right to the face of Schofield. And that's the second foul against Hunter Schofield.
You know, Coach Judkins frustrated with them pressuring Denitza out on the perimeter. He's 1 for 3 out there. As soon as they went out at him, he just blew by him. You know, that was his game. It's just that drive from the top of the key. You can see a hard drive right to the rim. They need to gap him a little bit. You know, give him some space. Maybe he's the guy that you want to dare to start shooting some of those threes and have him throw up some ill-advised shots and lead to stops like they did the first half.
Desnitsa makes the first, misses the second. Frank Stain the rebound. Stain leads for Chatwin. Chatwin to Youngblood. Youngblood to Green. Green, dribble handoff, Leighton Parker. Right elbow to Chatwin. Catch and shoot. 3, bang! Cameron Chatwin has been good for at least 1 3-pointer in each of the last 5 games. And Dixie State a game-high lead of 15, 54-39, 9:15 remaining. 3-pointers brought to you by Mountain America Credit Union. Joe Scott to Oliver. Oliver holding, dribbling back and forth left side, will throw up a 3 and it goes in. Did that in the first half and he just crashed it off the window, but this time he made it.
Well, when you see a player out there dribbling like that, he's trying to get his rhythm. You know, and it's important to jump out, break his rhythm, make him do something different with the ball.
54-42, Cameron Chatwin backing his way into the lane. He'll put up a shot, rims out, but a whistle rings out, and a foul against Desnitsa. It'll be his second. Cameron Chatwin to the line for a pair of vintage at Canyonlands free throws.
It's quality minutes here for Cameron Chatwin. He's not only scoring, hitting the big 3, going to the free throw line, but defensively doing a very good job.
First free throw up and in. 4 points for Chatwin. Second one is good. 2 for 2 on the trip to the vintage at Canyonlands free throw line. 5 points on the game for Cameron Chatwin, a 14-point lead, 56-42, 8:35 remaining. Oliver into the left corner, Stephenson. Stephenson, jump pass to the right wing and Oliver. Quick pass to Scott, it goes off his knee, but right back to Oliver. He'll get inside, throw up an off-balance shot. And a foul is called, and the Dixie State bench cannot believe it.
Well, they're wondering where the contact came. Did they get him with the body? Did they get him up top?
He jumped right past him.
Well, he just landed funny.
Yeah, he landed funny.
Reactionary by the official, seeing him land funny, just anticipated that, you know, there was contact.
They got Chatwin on the foul. Oliver misses the second free throw. Does that count as a ball don't lie situation?
Yes, it does.
If he splits. 56-43, Leighton Parker will drive inside. It's stripped out of his hands and out of bounds. Black Hill State arguing that it should be their ball, and they have a fair argument. I think it went off Parker's leg.
Yeah, I fully expected the officials to give that ball to Black Hill State.
Yeah.
They must have seen something we didn't, but it looked like it went off of Leighton's leg.
Boom, right there.
Yep.
Everything evens out in the end. Inbound pass back to Parker. Parker to Youngblood. Youngblood On the run, gets it to go, elevates, splashes it home.
Great floater.
6 points for Youngblood and a 15-point lead again, 58-43. Desnica inside, he's fouled by Jared Green. And that'll bring us to the under 8 media timeout. 7:44 remaining. Dixie State 58, Black Hill State 43. 1 minute timeout. Back to the Burns on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. .744 remaining. Trailblazers leading 58-43, and Dixie State closing out the homestand as they've opened up with their first 3 conference games at home. And Dixie State trying to close it out with a win. Mike, you mentioned one of our Lonnie Boys Barbecue keys to the game, the post play. And Dixie State with how many points in the paint?
22. You know, at the end of the first half, it was 14-6.
For Black Hill State.
For Black Hill State. Dixie now just dominating the paint. 22 points in the paint tonight. A lot of that coming from Hunter Schofield, Cameron Chatwin, guys that they're using that ball screen. They've been picking and rolling all night. That Cameron Chatwin 3 came on a pick and pop. So Coach Judkins making another great adjustment to get his big guy an open look at 3.
Desnica will make the first free throw. He's into double digits with 10. Third yellow jacket in double figures. Second free throw will rim out. Cameron Chatwin the rebound. 58-44, Dixie State is a 14-point lead with 7:40 remaining. Wilson into left corner to Stain. Stain crossing over, gets to his right, passes to Green. Green handoff to Wilson. Wilson, his pass is tipped, taken away by Oliver. Cameron Chatwin gonna hustle back, and Oliver can't get it to go, but he's fouled by Cameron Chatwin with the body.
Great hustle, though, by Cameron Chatwin. You know, you see how fast that big man can run. He went from the 3-point line to the front of that rim to contest very quickly. And that's okay. You know, he prevented an easy bucket, but you love that hustle to sprint back, contest, not give up a 2-and-1. But great hustle there by Cameron Chatwin to prevent that bucket.
Oliver will miss the free throw. There you go, at least.
Yeah.
You hustle down, pick up a foul, and you'll give up, at most, 1 point.
I mean, most guys may hang their head, you know, with a turnover, but Cameron Chatwin, just great hustle.
Oliver, second free throw is up and in. 7:17 remaining. Dixie State a 13-point lead, 58-45. It's Chatwin to set it up. Chatwin inside Jared Green. He pump fake, gets his man off his feet, and then goes up. Thought about dunking it for a minute. He thought, no, I'll just get the easy one. I'll lay it up and in.
I can't believe how open he was. I mean, there was nobody standing there. It caught him off guard a little bit.
60-45, Dixie State by 15. Scott into the lane. Kicks the right corner to Oliver. Oliver to the free throw line. Hangs, throws it up off the window. No. Good defense by Dixie State. No foul call. Here come the Trailblazers. Pagenkopf to the right corner and Wilson. Wilson drives the end line. Now pulls it back out. No need to be in any big hurry here with a 15-point lead. You have a good shot, take it. 15-second shot clock. Green will hand off to Youngblood. Left side jumper up and in. Dason Youngblood. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Yep.
Get the shot clock under 10. Find a good shot. He gets it to go. 8 points for Dason Youngblood. 17-point lead, a game-high mark. 62-45, 6:15 remaining. Oliver into the left corner. Scott. Scott will bounce inside Desnica. Into the paint, kicks to the right wing. Whitley splits 2 defenders and cut off by Cameron Chatwin. Pass to the left corner. Deep 2 on the way from Desnica is too strong. Dason Youngblood the rebound. Youngblood pushes it up, now slows it down, gives to Pagankoff. Pagankoff loses, regains, right near the timeline. Looks over at the referee and says, get him off. And then passes the ball. Jared Green, 17-foot jumper left side. High bounce off the front iron, and it falls back through for Green.
You gotta love Jack Pagankoff. He's dribbling the ball, he's smiling while he's lobbying for a foul call.
I mean, and he made sure to lobby for the call before he got rid of the ball. Dixie State by 19, 64-45, 5:10 remaining. Whitley for 3 left wing, and it's over the top of the bucket and into the hands of the Trailblazers. Dixie State will slow it down here. One coach was saying, go, 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 and Coach Judkins was saying, now slow it down, be smart. Wilson is fouled. Gotta love Coach Judkins, a 19-point lead, and he's still out yelling at his guys like he's down by 10, trying to fight back in.
That scoreboard means nothing to him right now. You know, for our TV viewers here, you see another one of those quality screens by the big guys. Dixie using that pick and roll so effectively tonight.
Inbound pass to Youngblood, and a quick foul. Yeah, quick foul will go against Desnica. 4:56 remaining. Dixie State a 9-point lead, 64-45. That is team foul number 7 against Black Hill State. That'll send Dason Youngblood to the free throw line. Brought to you by Vintage at Canyonlands. Front end of the 1-and-1, up and in. Youngblood with 9. Second one on the way and in. 10 points for Dason Youngblood. Remember, Dason scored 27 points against Alaska Fairbanks a couple of weeks ago. That's his career high. 21-point lead for the Trailblazers. Whitley loses, regains with 15 to shoot. Guarded by Wilson. Black Hill State just all out of sorts at this stage of the game. Whitley with 8 to shoot. Harassed by Pagankoff. Top of the key now, Stephenson. He gets inside, runs over Andre Wilson. The layup went through the bucket. The foul is on Wilson, and it'll be an and one. Bucket and the foul for Stephenson.
Yeah, it was 28 seconds of great defense. Shot clock at 2 when he got fouled, but Andre Wilson did exactly what he needed to do. That help side defense, sliding over, getting in position to take the charge. He got his feet set, but got whistled for the call.
Stephenson will miss the free throw. Newbold the rebound. Give to Youngblood. Over to Pagankoff. Back to Youngblood. Still got to get across the timeline. They do, with 1 second to spare. 4:15 remaining. Dixie State by 19, 66-47. Pagankoff. To Youngblood. Inside Schofield. Catch and shoot. Jumper. 10-footer. That's money.
You know, coming off the screen isn't just a guard thing. Hunter Schofield doing a good job curling on that screen, catching it a good 6 feet in front of the rim for the jumper.
15 points for Hunter Schofield. 3:51 to go. Stephenson will step into a 3 the other way, way off the right side. Schofield the rebound, and he's fouled by Stephenson. And that'll bring us to the under 4 media timeout. 3:45 to go. Dixie State leading it 68-47. Back in 60 on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Radio Dixie 91.3. Young the Giant, something to believe in.
John, what song do you want to hear? Next, Miss Melendres. You'll be on the SWAT team, the SWAT team. That's a fantastic situation. I should talk to you. I was going to talk to you last time.
3:45 to go. Dixie State, a 21-point lead. A big part of that is Hunter Schofield. Just 2 points at halftime. He's got 13, and you look like a genius, Mike, because you said Dixie State has got to be better in the post, and it's been Hunter Schofield, and that's been one of our big Lonnie Boys barbecue keys to the game tonight.
Yeah, you know, last night I so badly wanted to give him the player of the game, but Jack Pagenkopf just took it from him. So he's lobbying tonight for that SkyWest Airlines player of the game because he's getting it done. But it's little things. You know, we talked about his screening and what he's able to do setting screens for the guards. That opens up jumpers for him because his guy has to help. So an all-around great game by Hunter Schofield to get Dixie this lead. I mean, 69-47, holding Black Hills State to 47 points with 3:45 to go says a lot about the defensive effort for Dixie State.
A team that averages just under 80 points per game, by the way.
And one of the most efficient teams in the RMAC. I mean, they lead the conference in field goal percentage, so great job Dixie State defensively.
Trailblazers lead it 70-47 after Schofield makes both free throws. Now Pagenkopf and Schofield have 17 points each. Stephenson for Black Hills State the other way. They'll whip it around Whitley into the left corner. Oliver will take a three, left corner, and he knocks it in. Tyler Oliver, he's got 15.
Well, Black Hills State now seeing something offensively. That's a third offensive set where they've attacked that corner and been successful with a corner three.
70-50, Dixie State. A 20-point lead. Backdoor pass to Andre Wilson, and he can't handle it. Goes out of bounds, a turnover. And that's turnover number 10. Dixie State with just 3 turnovers in the second half.
Yeah, it's great.
Under 3 to play, 2:55 remaining. Dixie State a 70-50 advantage. And a great start to the 2019-2020 season, and a jump ball going to be called. And it will stay with Black Hills State as Youngblood came over and tried to help get a block and tied it up for a minute. 12-second shot clock for the Yellow Jackets. Back in play we go. Whitley, top of the key to Oliver. Shot clock to 7 now. Desnitsa has it knocked out of his hand. Shot clock to 2 and a 1. A runner for Stephenson. It's an air ball and a shot clock violation.
Well, again, who is there to contest Hunter Schofield defensively? You know, we said his name a lot tonight, but you know, he's just very smart. He's playing a very smart game. He hasn't lost his composure. He's stuck with the game plan and got it done on both ends.
Coach Judkins, one of his favorite things, shot clock violations.
Yeah,
if you could wrap that up and put it in a Christmas present somehow, you'd probably love that. It's the best Christmas gift you'd ever received. 2:20 remaining. Dixie State a 20-point lead, 70-50. Pagenkopf, crossover, steps back, knocks in a jumper, 72-50. He had shot for a while, but he's still got the touch. He's got 19. Ball knocked out of bounds on the way back up the floor. Yellow Jackets with it. 72-50. Dixie State a 22-point lead. 2:07 remaining.
You know, anything from this point, Jack Pagenkopf, he's played a phenomenal game. You look early in the game, Carrick, when they're getting physical with him and trying to get into his head and rattle him a little bit, he's just kept his composure. You've got 19 points. You've had a solid game with 2 minutes to go. The rest is just going to be gravy for Jack Pagenkopf.
2 minutes remaining. 22-point lead. Scott inside will lay it up and in. 1:52 remaining. Jared Green up off the bench. He'll check in on the next whistle. Leighton Parker going to check in as well. I was just getting ready to say as they pass inside Schofield, and he flushes with 2 hands. An exclamation point on the victory. He's got 19.
You know, and he's got a smile on his face. You'd love to see that. A play like that, a great pass, a thunderous dunk. I mean, he rattled the rim, got up high. Great way to finish for the big guy.
Pagenkopf a steal. Pass ahead to Youngblood, and he'll miss a layup. Offensive rebound, Newbold. The putback, no. And tapped out of bounds. It'll stay with Dixie State, and some substitutions coming. And some full-scale substitutions. And I like to see it. I was just getting ready to say at what point do you pull some of these guys out. And so on the floor now for Dixie State, Andre Wilson, Leighton Parker, Mark Hatch will check in for the first time. Jared Green is in, and Jacob Nichols into the game. Hatch to trigger baseline left side. He's a pretty good shooter in his own right. Hasn't had a lot of opportunity. Jared Green catches and dunks it in the paint. And for the first time this season, we're going to see Brock Staley.
Well,
after the Jared Green two-hand dunk.
You love this kind of energy. You know, a team that catches, you see another post play right there. Post getting it done, guards rewarding their big men.
76-52, Dixie State. The lead. Black Hill State going to unload the bench as well. Pass it to the right side. Ball is loose, and it's tied up on the floor. It was Spencer Ederhoff with it. Dixie State will have the jump ball. There's a 19-second differential between a game and shot clock. 49.9 in the game, 30 seconds on the shot clock. Now these guys are probably going to fight over who gets to take this shot.
That's right.
Say, listen, Jared, you've scored already tonight, so you're out of the picture.
Well, Hatch has got the ball in his hands. Yeah, I mean, he's signaling the call, so I think he's going to have something to say about this.
Staley to the left side and Parker. Green. Hatch. Hesitates, double dribbled. Carried. And he just settled that one. He said, I'm going to turn it over so no one will get to shoot. It'll be fair. 35 seconds remaining.
At least he picked up a stat.
Yeah, he is on the stat sheet. 28.3 remaining. Dixie State a 14-point lead, 76-52. Stephenson spinning in the lane, floats and scores for the Yellow Jackets. Shot clock is off.
No shots.
And Dixie State saying no shots. They'll work it around for the last 15 seconds. Staley right wing with 10 to go. Hand off to Hatch. Top of the key, Green. Back to Parker with 5 and 4, 3, 2 and 1. This game's over. Dixie State will win it 76-54. After a quiet start, they turned things around, and what a performance tonight for the Trailblazers. Scoring 76 points tonight, but holding Black Hill State, a team that averages 77 points per game, to 54. 23 points under their average. Trailblazers got it done on both ends of the floor tonight. Dixie State is 8-0, 3-0 in the RMAC, and we are loving this start from Dixie State. What a game tonight.
That was a statement game. You know, that makes a strong statement. Not only does it avenge the loss last year in Spearfish, but it says something about the level of play that this team has reached tonight. So they definitely made a very, very strong statement for the rest of the RMAC and the rest of the nation tonight.
Trailblazers will take their jog around the floor, their traditional jog around the floor, and give everyone a high five on their way out into the tunnel and back into the locker room. Can't wait to talk to Coach Judkins about this one. And it's gone to final. Dixie State 76, Black Hill State 54. Trailblazers are 8-0, 3-0 in the conference. What a game. Let's step away. 3-minute timeout, and then we'll come back inside the Guru Sports Grill postgame report, where we will name a SkyWest Airlines player of the game, a Catering Concepts play of the game, and we'll break it all down for you. Trailblazers win it 76-54. 3-minute timeout and back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
No, I'm not busy right now. Yeah, I can talk.
We may not always play good, but when we want to look good, we come to the Dixie State campus store.
Located on the second floor of the Gardner Center. We'll see you there.
Hey, Kevin, you thinking about retirement?
I'd love to, but I'm pretty busy with all this.
Yeah. Hey, let's meet our retirement coach, Avo. A is for taking action.
Not anxiety?
No, Kevin, you're gonna be fine.
You sing?
Barely. V is for variety.
And you dance?
Sort of. Come on. O is for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice.
For over a century, Dixie State University has been shaping the trailblazers of tomorrow by providing a culture of active learning, active life. With a paradigm of real-world experience mixed with cutting-edge technologies and rich traditions, we provide one of the most affordable educations in the West set against the most stunning backdrop on the planet.
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, good. You played before, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's all state in high school.
Good. Let's run some routes. Give me a post route.
All right, let's do it.
We may not always play good, but when we want to look good, we come to the Dixie State campus store.
Located on the second floor of the Gardner Center. We'll see you there.
1, 2, 3, 4. 0.52 kilograms. This graph is square.
Pretty close.
Artemisia is all the sage brushes, but there's your needle and thread. Which one is this?
Come down. Turn, please. Right. Sodium carbonate.
Trailblazers win it 76-54. Dixie State 8-0 overall, 3-0 in the RMAC. We welcome you inside the Guru Sports Grill post-game report. Carrick Segmiller, Mike Olson with you. Courtside, inside the Burns, a very happy crowd going home tonight. And the Trailblazers wrapping up the home stand in style. We were just talking about it during the break. Dixie State will not have another home game until after the new year.
Yeah.
And what a way it will be to open the new year. Well, I digress. Dixie State will have an exhibition against Yellowstone Christian on December 30th, but that obviously doesn't go in the stats. But then that opener, and it's always tough when you have those games without the students here. But then after the new year, on January 3rd, the Friday, you have UC Colorado Springs, good team, and Colorado School of Mines, good team. That's going to be a very tough weekend, but not necessarily maybe even as tough as this next weekend will be on the road as you open at a very, very scrappy and athletic and talented New Mexico Highlands team, and what will be your first conference road trip and then a long trip to CSU Pueblo after that. Very interested to see how that goes. But for now, let's break down this game. Guru Sports Grill post-game report. Dixie State 76-54 on a night when the Trailblazers did a little bit of everything and got it done on both ends of the floor. Trailblazers, how about 30 points in the paint? We'll just bring that up again because we mentioned that was one of our Lonnie Boys Barbecue keys to the game. Control the paint, control the post. You mentioned they were trailing at halftime. What was that? 14 to 6.
14 to 6
in the paint, and then in the second half they turn it around. About 24 points in the paint in the second half. Half of your points were scored in the paint in the second half, and a 30-22 advantage in the paint by the time this one is all said and done. Trailblazers with a huge win and got it done in the paint. What a game by Hunter Schofield.
Huge game for Hunter Schofield, who, shooting 7 of 16 from the field. He picked up his first three-pointer of the season. He had yet to connect on a three-point shot, but the big man able to record his first three-point shot of the night, and so he adds to a long list of Dixie State players who have hit a three-pointer this season. So congratulations to Hunter Schofield for his first three-pointer of the night. Came on a pick and pop at the top of the key, Garrick. 1 for 2 from downtown, 4 for 5 from the free throw line. He only 8 rebounds. He was 2 rebounds shy of that double-double and 19 points. So Hunter Schofield doing a great job tonight. We talked about the important role that he plays offensively. You'll see Hunter Schofield very active at the top of the key, very good at pick. We talked about that halftime where his ability to set an on-ball screen, that pick and roll, that pick and pop was very good, but he's also very good at cleaning up around the rim. He's very athletic, very long, but he plays extremely hard, and he does such a great job finding himself in position and working to put himself in a position to get some rebounds. So Hunter Schofield, definitely a candidate for 30 minutes. He logged the most minutes tonight for Coach Judkins with 30 minutes, 19 points, 8 rebounds. Phenomenal night for Hunter Schofield. But he wasn't the only big man that contributed to those 30 points in the paint. I really thought Josh Newbold came in and played some quality minutes. He finished with 6 points on 2 for 5 shooting, but those 2 threes, he was 2 for 4 from the three-point line. Those 2 3-pointers by Josh Newbold were key. They weren't points in the paint, but Josh Newbold really stepped in when he needed to and played hard. But I'll tell you what, Jack Pagenkopf is going to be, another an option for the SkyWest Airlines Player of the Game, where Jack Pagenkopf 8 for 13 tonight, 3 for 4 downtown. He was 0 for 1 from the free throw line, but finished with 19 points and 2 rebounds. Keep in mind that Jack Pagenkopf leads this team in rebounds. He was coming into tonight averaging 8 rebounds a game. Pulled down 2 rebounds tonight, but Jack Pagenkopf just really stepping up and playing phenomenal. Other guys, quality minutes from Dason Youngblood, who was 3 for 6 from the field. Did not take a three-pointer, but he was 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Finished with 10 points and 6 rebounds. Great minutes there by Dason Youngblood. Andre Wilson, I thought, was a huge spark off the bench. When he got in late in that second half, he really energized Dixie State, had some electric plays at the rim. Shot 3 for 6 from the field, didn't take a three, didn't take a free throw, finished with 6 points and 2 rebounds. 9 guys getting into the column, in the scoring column for Dixie State. But the statistic that we're going to talk about a lot, those keys to tonight's victory, Carrick, when we look at the shooting percentages. Dixie State, the first half, shooting 4 for 9 from the three-point line with 44%. The second half, 4 for 5, 80% from the three-point line, finishing the game at 57%. And free throws, 6 for 7, 85% in the first half, 6 out of 7 shooting 85%. The second half, finishing the game 85% from the free throw line. So you look at those shooting percentages, 51% from the field, 57% from the three-point line, and 85% from the free throw line. I think they made a statement tonight that coming in, Black Hills State was the leader in the RMAC in field goal percentage. Dixie making a statement there tonight, shooting the ball extremely well.
Well, if they keep shooting the three the way that they are, they're going to be the leader in that as well. In percentage, maybe not necessarily makes, but in percentage. But what a game tonight! What a performance by the Trailblazers. And you mentioned, you hit all the numbers. And what I see is, you force 14 turnovers, turn the ball over 11 times. See, it's too many, but that's only 4 in the second half.
Yeah.
If you can go 4 and 4, they just turn the ball over that first again. And I think they can go back to the drawing board and they can say, okay, what's taking us a few minutes to settle down and to figure some things out. I mean, obviously, the games are ending up just fine, but Coach Judkins is going to look at that and say, look, we've got to start a little bit better, just taking care of the ball. Because, I mean, you get out in a game, especially here against, Colorado Springs and Colorado School of Mines, or even next week on the road at Mexico Highlands. If you go on the road and spot the Cowboys an 8-2, 9-2 lead,
at home,
you may not recover. Because that's what happened in the RMAC tournament game last year. In that RMAC tournament quarterfinal here inside the Burns Arena, Dixie State spotted the Cowboys a lead and then waited until the late stages to get going. So they've got to figure out that start cleaner, control the ball, don't turn it over, and if they do that, it'll help these performances greatly. And that's what these early season games are for. But they're going to look at that. They're going to go to the tape. They're going to figure out, hey, what's causing that? Why the slow starts? Why are we turning the ball over? Are we just trying to figure out what they're throwing at us? From a coach's perspective, you've coached, you've gone through those things. What is it through the first couple of minutes that can make a team start that way.
Well, you want to come out with a lot of energy, but it takes some time to get into a rhythm. And I think with guys like Jack Pagankoff, he was kind of, you don't want to say he was asleep, because I think he came out and he had some good energy. But the moment that really turned the tide for this game was about 2 minutes into the game when Jack Pagankoff got that steal, put it back in, and got that push and that little taunt afterwards. I think
kind of did.
That lit a fire under Jack Pagankoff, and that's what woke them up. Sometimes it takes something like that to get your team sparked. I really thought that Coach Judkins, the way he was coaching tonight, I fully expected him to get a technical foul just because he was so passionate and so into coaching this game that sometimes even a technical foul from a coach lights your fire under your team and they see it. But I thought Coach Judkins and his staff absolutely coached a phenomenal game tonight. The adjustments they made offensively and the things that they were able to do defensively were incredible. So a great all-around win tonight for the number 15th in the nation ranked Dixie State Trailblazers.
Coach Judkins making his way across the floor. He picked up a cookie. We'll let him finish that thing before. Save some of those for us later, please. We got to name a SkyWest Airlines Player of the Game and a Catering Concepts Play of the Game. And Coach Judkins will join us now inside of the Guru Sports Group postgame report. Coach, you could have finished your cookie before.
I see yours right there. What do you got?
This is a special from my brother-in-law. He coaches the Black Hills State women's team.
Oh, cool.
So he came and gave me a little cookie before they left.
What'd you give him?
Just a hug. Just said, hey, good to see you, buddy. You're not coming to Christmas. So
you gave him a loss. So
I gave him a loss. So
I'm
Coach Judkins joining us in the post-game show.
Let me make a point that the only one here without a cookie, I do feel left out a little bit.
Someone get this man a cookie.
I got Chick-fil-A. We appreciate Chick-fil-A bringing some food in here. This is nice. So, yeah, we'll take it. That was a fun game, wasn't it? Oh, what a fun game. That's what I just told my team. I said, guys, doesn't that feel good? I mean, I thought it was a team effort. We have our impact player, and I said, I want to give this to everybody. I want everybody to touch the mallet because I thought tonight was a team game. There wasn't one person that stuck out over the other. We just played solid. Our defense tonight was outstanding. I mean, they only got 20 shots up the second half. I mean, that's pretty good. We defended a couple of them. We bailed them out by reaching and got some dumb fouls late in it. But I thought that was really big tonight.
We can touch on that, Coach. The first half, you went on a 14-0 run over a 10-minute stretch, and during that stretch, you held Black Hills State to 1 from 10 shooting.
Yeah.
Saw you switch your defense a little bit. Talk about your defensive effort in guarding their sets. They were running a lot of stuff, and it looked like it was really tough to guard. But talk about that 1 out of 10 stretch where you went on a 14-0 run and really changed the game.
Yeah, we try to do that a lot. These teams, even like last night's team, they run a lot of sets and they do a really good job with them. And so we thought, hey, let's try something different. First half, we went to more of a zone, and they only had one play. They ran, they called it 30. So we knew kind of what it was, and so we adjusted to that. And then the second half, they started calling that out. We went to our matchup, and they didn't know what to do. I switched it again late in the second half. I thought number 33 caught on. What does that say, Rocket? Yeah. They caught on. They caught on to 33 is a pretty smart player. He caught on to some stuff, and so I hurried and switched it back just to try to keep him thinking like, hey, I don't want him to think, hey, this is working. We had a couple times I thought it's kind of like going for a rebound and two guys go for it and then knock it out of bounds, and you can't get mad at it. I thought tonight a couple times we had guys so aggressive that they were guarding. They slid over, and instead of saying, I got him, they kind of both stayed on that guy, and they made that extra pass and hit a couple shots. But again, how do you get mad at them being that aggressive defensively? But there are sometimes we didn't need to switch or we didn't need to push. We call it push or bump. We didn't need to bump them off, and we kind of did, and they hit a couple threes on us in the corners. But great effort. I was happy of just the energy. Like we told these guys, this league is brutal. I mean, they drove all the way here on a bus. They go up to Westminster. They drive all the way down last night. It's just you got to come more mentally on that second night, and I thought tonight we were really good mentally.
Halftime, Coach, you're trailing 14-6 in the points in the paint category. Mm-hmm. come out, you finished 30-22 advantage in the points at the paint. How much of an emphasis was that made at halftime? I said, look, we've got to be better inside because it's going to help everything. It's going to be able to kick it back out and shoot threes as well.
You're exactly right. We noticed the first half that they were going under our ball screens. And so we adjusted the second half and said, hey, let's set them a little bit lower so then our guards come off and they go under screens, you can shoot it. And that's what Jack did. And then what happens, it opens up the inside game because now they don't do that. Now they're going to go over the top of them, and then our bigs are rolling. We thought Hunter could do us. I thought his first half, he had a couple of shots that he was just kind of trying to do too much. Just we say make a move, strong move, quick shot. And then he started doing that second half, and he was taking that guy to work, which was nice. So, it's like I said before, it's like football. You got to have a running game to have a passing game, and it's the same thing with us. When our inside game's going, it opens up our outside, and then when our outside game opens, it opens up the inside. And that, again, tonight, that's what I thought we did. That's probably the best we've played so far this year. On both ends. Shooting 73.
I was just going to say 73% in the second half doesn't hurt anything.
Yeah, and that was one of our keys we wrote on the board. We said give up a good shot for a better shot. I thought tonight we did that. We had 4 turnovers the second half, 8 assists, 4 turnovers. That means we're sharing the ball. We get to the foul line. We finally go 85, 86% from the foul line, which our goal is high 80s. So we get there. So, again, it's just an all-around good game. And I thought everybody played well. It wasn't, it wasn't just one guy. I thought Josh didn't do great, with his scoring and all that. He had 6 points, but he did some things tonight I really liked. Again, Frank only gets 2 points, but he played a lot better tonight defensively. And then, Jack and Hunter had big games, and Dayson with his four assists and 1 turnover was huge. So it was good. It's a good win. We're going to enjoy it, but now we got a big challenge of final week's tough. So we're gonna make practice a little shorter. We got to keep our guys focused that way, but we got to have good days on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we leave Thursday to head up for a long
This will be
trip.
One of your.
Longest
they're
trips.
all long this year. I mean, it's the RMAC. This will be one of the toughest.
Yeah, it's the second worst trip. The other one.
That longest is Denver to Shadred.
Yeah, that's miserable. So, but everybody's got to do it. Everybody's got to do it, and hopefully our guys are tough enough and they understand that. It's just we got to focus on finals unless we know anybody that's an advisor that can help us out with that. But no, we know that. And these kids are working hard in the classroom, and they'll be good. They'll be ready. But we're going to shorten them up, let them study, go hard for an hour to get out. I think that's going to be important to us. And then we just got to, again, we haven't really had a road game of playing a team on the road. The Westminster stuff was a neutral site. So now we got to go on the road and play in front of a crazy crowd. And the first game is New Mexico Highlands. Yeah, and they beat us in the tournament. So, our guys are pretty hungry. They remember that. And just like this game, remember last year we lost to these guys at their place by 20 plus. So, they kind of wanted this game pretty bad. So hopefully on Friday we'll be ready to go.
Coach, appreciate it.
Yeah,
congrats
thanks,
on the win. We're going to let you go so you can go enjoy that
my cookie. Yeah. Again, the crowd tonight was good.
It was good.
A
lot better.
Good crowd.
We had 2,500 here. That's pretty good.
Good energy.
We just got to keep it going. It was fun to see Marcus Banks here tonight.
That was incredible, wasn't it?
What you guys did, let him go on the radio. I didn't know what he said, but I hope it was good stuff. But
it was fun.
It was pretty fun. He loved this place. This is where it kind of got him started. He wants to help us out, and man, I think he's going to help us with recruiting. He knows a lot of people down in Las Vegas, and he's done playing. But it was fun to see him and talk to him for a while, and I hope he comes back more and more. So again, crowd, thank you so much for coming. Let's keep this thing going.
One more thing, your men's basketball SID is a little nervous to sit where he's sitting now because you almost got him. You hit the table one time. He had to move back. You almost got him. So
yeah, I almost got him. He's lucky, dude. He's lucky now.
In fact, I told him if it had been a couple years ago with the older table, it was a little lower, you might not have made contact with the table. You might have just hit him.
Higher,
a little higher.
I didn't hit it very hard. I came like I was going to, and then I stopped. Kind of the old fake throw.
Well, but, Mike here thought you were going to pick up a tee tonight, just the way that you were coaching the game.
I thought it was. I mean, again, the part I was mad
Sorry
at.
to tattle
the one
on
I got mad on that one right there was, we play great defense. The guy loses the ball, and then they call a foul. With 2 seconds on the shot clock. It was just great defense. I love that. When I see that, I get so excited. And then when a ref bells them out or a guy makes some crazy stuff. But, it happens. It happens. But I wanted to win pretty bad.
Both of those came with 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah.
So your guys played hard for 28 seconds. And
that's what's hard. It's so
tough to see.
frustrating. It's like, oh, how do we reach, or how do we, just make them shoot some crazy shot. But, hey, good win, and appreciate you guys and what you guys do.
Absolutely. Congrats, Coach.
Right.
Appreciate it. Dixie State, again, 76-54. The Trailblazers are 8-0 overall, 3-0 in the RMAC, and we're going to wrap things up quickly here. We do have to hand out some awards. SkyWest Airlines Player of the Game. Another tough one tonight. Jack and Hunter, I think we got to go. We gave it to Jack last night. I think I'd be remiss if we didn't give it to Hunter tonight, just with the big second half he had. But then Jack carried him in the first half. I mean, that's another tough decision. But Hunter goes 19 rebounds, 18 points, 19 points, 8 rebounds, and block and a thunderous dunk.
Yep.
Toward the end of the game.
I would definitely agree. I thought that Hunter Schofield played an absolute amazing game tonight. To watch him play is a lot of fun. To watch him communicate with his guard, to watch him just keep his composure, and he plays so hard. It's so fun to watch a guy that plays that hard and he's that smart. He's definitely deserving of the SkyWest Airlines Player of the Game.
Hunter Schofield, your SkyWest Airlines Player of the Game. Catering Concepts Play of the Game, Mike. We had a pair of dunks down the stretch. We had
Hunter
Schofield and Jared got one as well. Jared would have had one earlier, too. Then all of a sudden, he's like, I'm wide open. Oh, no, there's no time. I better just lay it up. But Hunter Schofield and Jared Green throwing down a pair of dunks will be our Catering Concept Plays of the Game. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Dixie State on the road next week. New Mexico Highlands and CSU Pueblo. I'm not quite sure if I'll be on that trip or not. I said going in that I'm going to try to make as many trips as I can, and now I'm kind of looking at that thing going, that's a brutal trip. But I want to be there. I want to call the game. Got some family stuff, got a birthday in the family, so we got to talk and see what's going to go down. There's a chance I could be there on that trip next week and be able to bring you those games. And we can road trip it. You want to drive out to Las Vegas, New Mexico?
I hear that Las
Let's
Vegas
go.
is
It's hopping.
Yeah, it's great this time of year.
It's wonderful. But Dixie State will be at New Mexico Highlands Friday night. Again, an opportunity to try to avenge that loss in the quarterfinals of the RMAC tournament last year. And, it's interesting that, Jack Pagankoff, Cameron Chatwin, Andre Wilson, a few of these guys were here, but a lot of these guys weren't. Hunter Schofield, Frank Stain, and, it'll be up to these returners to kind of pass that on to them during the week and say, well, unfinished business with these guys. We got to go and take care of business and keep this thing rolling. So
I've got a feeling that Coach Schroeder will put something together with the film. Those new guys will know all about New Mexico Highlands by about tomorrow afternoon.
Good deal. Good deal. Trailblazers win it 76-54. Everyone's happy. I'm happy. Mike's happy. Coach is happy. Everyone's happy. Great time tonight inside the Burns Arena. Our next home game, we'll have a December 30th exhibition against Yellowstone Christian, and then Colorado Springs Friday, January 3rd, and Colorado School of Mines January 4th. And we're going to be relying on the community big time for those games because school will be out. They won't be back until Monday, and we're going to need a huge crowd to start things off. Those would be monstrous games for this Trailblazer squad. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We want to give a big shout out to our CEC TV crew this weekend, operating on kind of half power. A lot of their main guys behind the scenes were gone, so big shout out to Marcus and Lauren in the CEC TV production truck and all their great students and workers on the cameras. Big shout out to them, putting in a great weekend of work and get us the good looks and helping us out with the official replay as well. Another big shout out to Martin Kelly, our radio producer back in the Radio Dixie 91.3 FM studio, getting us on the air, keeping us on the air all weekend long. For Mike Olson, I'm Carrick Segmiller. Thank you for watching or listening. We'll catch you in a couple of weeks right here on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. Have a good night.